Where does a game cross from just being a quote-unquote ordinary game to being a fan service title? This game definitely has some fan service, but it's so far from a primary focus of the title, and backed up with enough explanation for its purpose, that the game is unexpectedly divisive to me. Is this a fan service game or not? For the sake of review, I'm going to go ahead and say that it is, and where fan service games typically tend to lower the expectations of the general gaming audience, I'm going to offer a forewarning that perhaps this game is the one that breaks the mold and crush those expectations. Let's go into why. Knights of Azure is a 2015 title for the PS3, PS4, and PlayStation Vita. However, it was not released in America and Europe until March and April of 2016, and when released over here, it was only on the PS4. It was developed by Gust.co and published by Tecmo Koei, who themselves are no strangers to busty women and fan service in gaming. The distribution in North America was handled by NIS America, and at this point I'd like to give a shout out to them. NIS America, at a time where games, at least in Canada, are reaching new levels of expensive, is something of a beacon of light, offering collector's editions of games at comparatively and reasonably low prices. The Knights of Azure CE tapped in at $99.99 USD. With games in Canada like Overwatch Origins Edition coming to $91 tax in, the $99 USD price is really not a hard one to swallow for all the extras packed in. In addition to the game, you get a 36-song soundtrack in physical CD, a somewhat conservative 40-page hardcover art book in full color, 5 mini art prints, and a 57 by 20-inch cloth poster. When I first saw this poster, I immediately thought of it as lewd, and it is really, but it was fan service to me and nothing more. However, once I started the game and I kinda got into it, I started to feel that level of divisiveness setting in. This poster no longer strikes me as simple fan service or simply lewd. It's something that, honestly, people should have no problem displaying in their home with pride. See, Knights of Azure is a borderline hack-and-slash game with slight RPG elements. However, its character development and interaction is center stage. The game focuses on two characters, Lilise and Arnis. These are the same two characters in the cloth poster. You play as Arnis. Arriving at the start of the game in a gothic European setting, the world is under threat of a dawning eternal night, and Lilise soon finds out that she is the only one who can stave this off. But to do this comes at a sacrifice of her life. Without any further thought, Arnis takes it upon herself to find a way to put a stop to this. This all takes place many years after a great war in which the antagonist and ultimate evil known as the Ruler of the Night was killed. When he was killed, his blue demon blood spread all over the world in the form of rain. This rain infected all those caught in it and turned them all to demons, except for our main character Arnis, who in turn became a half-demon. With this, Arnis can bring demons into creation by actualizing fetishes, and no, that doesn't mean anything sexual. Fetishes, as known under fetishism, is a French word to describe any object believed to have powers pertaining to supernatural beliefs. The demons Arnis actualizes can be summoned into battle to do her bidding, similar to how battle is performed in the 2007 PS3 title Folklore by Game Republic and Sony Computer Entertainment. These demons are your main form of attack. However, you also get up to 5 weapons you can do battle with yourself. But make no mistake, your damage output is very low compared to your demons. So when the going gets tough, step back and play a more supportive role. You can summon up to 4 demons at a time based on your deck loadout. You can bring up to 4 decks into battle provided you've chosen to unlock them all. Honestly, I never found myself using more than 2 decks, but I unlocked them all anyway. Demons and Arnis alike level up, so unless you feel like grinding for insane hours, I really can't see anybody maining more than 1 or 2 decks of monsters. Arnis can give these demons 4 commands: Rampage, Teamwork, Drink Blood, and Follow. The most important for me were Rampage, which causes them to just attack indiscriminately. The second most important was Drink Blood, which will cause them to absorb the spilled blood off the floor and regain small amounts of health mid-battle. Teamwork can be useful as well, but Follow is really only useful if your demons manage to get stuck behind a wall somewhere, in which case telling them to follow will unsummon them from where they are and resummon them basically at your feet. Each demon can equip an item to boost their stats, they can learn new skills and perks through leveling, and they can absorb unactualized fetishes for small permanent power boosts. It's highly recommended to use all of these features on at least your main deck of 4 demons. The game will seem to play very easy, but by the end, you will get hit with a fairly steep difficulty curve. The game boasts a very small and short campaign of only 7 chapters, each of which can likely be completed in 1 to 2 hours. However, there are hundreds of side quests to do if you're so inclined. The side quests are generally pretty weak, consisting of slay X amount of this enemy, investigate this area item, or simply arrive at this location. While these leave much to be desired, they're a great addition to do alongside your pursuit of main story objectives, and they give you something to make the inevitable grinding a little more fun. Honestly, I done hundreds of these and never really got bored. They're short, simple, and rewarding, though they will bring you to the same places, doing the same things over and over again, and if the combat isn't very fun to you, just avoid doing these quests on their own as is. These quests really have nothing to offer you. As you complete quests, you gain blood, which acts as experience and currency. When you've acquired enough, you visit the altar of Jorth. Yorth? However you pronounce this. This altar is connected to the hotel, which serves as your central hub for the game. At the altar, you talk with a dream state version of Lilise. You ask questions pertaining to the story, the Eternal Night, and your relationship with Lilise. The questions asked here determine the end of the game. See, it's probably pretty important now to address the relationship between Arnis and Lilise. Arnis and Lilise are old friends reunited, but their relationship goes much deeper than that. Arnis and Lilise are lovers, and this is far more than subtly implied. This is center focus of the story. The relationship featured in this game is one of the realest and sweetest I've seen in a game recently, and it takes all sexual interest of busty lesbian lovers out of the question for me. This is not a game at all interested in sexual focus, despite what some of the costumes may have you feel. This game keeps a heavy focus on emotions and romance, and you really feel for the characters. Everything about the design and narrative of the game works toward this. The romantic gothic European setting, the beautiful imagery, the astounding music, the dialogue, that sense of impending tragedy as the world approaches its end. More than you're interested in stopping the end of the world, you'll find yourself interested in preventing Lilise from becoming a sacrifice to prevent the end of the world. You're more interested in patching up their friendship so Arnis and Lilise can live together, happily, as a couple, as they're obviously meant to. This is where we fall out of the fanservice category for me. Though I know fanservice is what will draw most people into this game. So you come for the fanservice and you stay for the story. Fanservice for me is something often meant to draw you in on a basis of sexual imagery, of sexuality altogether. This is so much more than that, so while yes, we do have a game filled with sexy women in sexy costumes, you have a game with 2 women in love who happen to just have this style. Honestly, I loved this game a great deal more than the mild reviews made me feel I would. The graphics aren't amazing, I mean, some textures are downright puke-worthy, but the style is downright gorgeous and the fashion design for this game is incredible. Beautiful girls in beautiful clothing. I wish a style like this was still a thing. The music is so fucking fantastic. The side characters are all fun and have good recurring jokes. The amount of side quests as well as an optional arena to visit for bonus rewards really make up for the short length of the campaign and will give you plenty to do. Once the game is beat, you unlock some mild extra content like art viewers, voice sets, and a character viewer mode. In addition to those, you unlock a bonus epilogue. If you want to acquire the real ending and all additional endings, this is where you do it. This epilogue also boosts your max acquirable level. However, it was also this epilogue that drove me the most nuts. By this point of the game, I was tired of revisiting the same 15 or so areas I did for the rest of the game prior to this, and unfortunately, this section does not really offer new areas or new settings. My biggest gripe overall for the game, though, was the final boss prior to the epilogue. The game was insanely easy up to this moment. You arrive here likely at level 8, and it's really frigging hard. However, there is a way to get to level 10, but nothing will let you know this, so I'm going to explain how quickly. Grind. Grind until you acquire 260,000 blood. When this happens, go back to the hotel. When you try to leave here with 260k blood on your person, a cinematic will trigger involving twerking cats. Follow the events that occur, and you can boost your max level to 10. Get to level 10 before fighting the final boss. It's insanely difficult otherwise. What irks me about this is the seeming random and unexplainable nature of it all. I feel bad for the guy who keeps spending his blood and never triggers this event and just can't complete the final boss. However, those are really my only gripes with this game. Overall, I'm very impressed with it and very shocked how well written the characters and relationships are. The game truly brought me more than I was ever expecting of it, and I highly recommend it. Let's make fan service games great again. Fanservice 2016. No reason why we can't have big titties and emotional story in a seemingly budget title like this one. There's a lot more I could say about this and a lot I didn't even cover, but I feel as though I could go on for days. So that's just the gist of it really. With that, that's all I'm gonna say today, guys. Check out my Facebook, add me up on PSN at Tark_Gauntlet. Like, comment, and sub, and as always, thanks for watching.
君を邪用になんかするものか。君を救うためなら何だってやる。それだけがハーナス。君は知らないんだ。君の笑顔に邪用との不毛な戦いも青い血を回収するたび人ではなくその笑顔